Okay, let's talk about monitoring and Alfresco. I'm Toni de la Fuente, solution engineer in Alfresco. Sorry for my English, but all the slides are self-explanatory. We'll talk about how to monitor in Alfresco with Nagios. Nagios is a very well-known open source monitoring system. And why to monitor Alfresco? Yes, to get control on everything is happening in Alfresco. Thanks to the GMX interface, we can get many information, very interesting information. We can see graphs with JConsole, and we can take this kind of string to write our own plugins in Nagios. And the important thing is to get this kind of information with Alfresco and with Nagios, and the plugin of Nagios is to get the historic information, just to make decisions, right decisions in terms of scalability, vertical and horizontal scalability. What is Nagios or Icinga? Nagios is an open source monitoring software called NetSane. It has 1,000 of downloads and has a lot of plugins. It works with local and remote plugins, standard as TCP or UDP plugins or service-specific plugins like MySQL, etc. How to monitor in Alfresco? Just with TCP traffic and asking through GMX interface of Alfresco, and with the plugin, we can install the plugin very easy, just copying two files or configuration files to the Nagios configuration with some services and some commands. We have two main configuration files. One is Alfresco commands, where we can define the syntax of the command, the chain of the Alfresco GMX, and the Alfresco service command, where we have a lot of checks through GMX, like service availability and time response for these services, and also from memory usage to number of activity workflows developed. Well, I did yesterday the last version of the plugin just in the hackathon, and I released in the add-ons webpage with some news like monitoring solar. And for the community version, we have alternatives to do the checkings and the monitoring of Alfresco community. Well, we can access to the monitoring services if we have our Nagios or Icinga server with this kind of these URLs for the classic web, or if we are going to use Icinga or even PNP for Nagios, is our graphs. We are going to see that in this screen. This is the classic web interface of Nagios with all checks, the response check, and if they are available, more than 33 checks, and also the Icinga web interface is modern interface based on PHP and with information stored in database. We can choose graphs depending on every check, and not only the graph in the last few hours, but in last months, weeks, and years, etc. To see memory usage, etc. A lot of information to know how is working our server. And also PNP for Nagios has the mobile interface, and we can see graphs like that. I think they are very interesting. And we can find some problems configuring this kind of monitoring, but it's just opening the right ports, control through the firewall, and to change, I remember to change the credentials of GMX just for security reasons. You can find some resources in these links. Finally, I had an idea I offer my monitoring server for my laboratory in monitor.blix.com, and I can monitor your non-production server and there is not SLA, nothing to see with my job in Alfresco. It's just to test some server, okay, and to craft this information. And then that's all. Sorry.